Guys, welcome to the Mary Boozer's RC channel. Tonight we have the build and assembly video for the E-flite Twin Otter. We have had a chance to fly one of these already and had a wonderful time at it. Definitely check out that event or that flight video. I'll get Lori to link it up in the top here, or it's over here. Sorry. So anyway. Super excited about this little plane. Dad has already claimed it, Papa Boozer. He really enjoyed this airplane. He said, hey, I want that one. So he's definitely going to be keeping it. So anyway, if you want to know more about it, stick around. We're going to go through every little bit of it that we can and show you around the airplane as we put it together. So let's get to building. All right, first step on our assembly process, we're gonna get the landing gear put on. We have the set that goes here, and then we have a nose wheel. This will be a little different if you decide to use the floats right now. We're gonna put the wheels on for right now. Take this one screw out. I'm gonna use my magnetic tray to hold my screws. You've seen it in some of our last episodes. This airplane also comes with a bag of screws. We're gonna need them right now. They're all the same size throughout the whole airplane except for that one we just took out. That one will need to be different. All right, so now we've got to lift this out. Just like so. Grab a hold of it. Lift that piece out. Your wheels, there's a little bar on one end of these. That goes towards the back of the airplane. And then it has these little white clips. There's 3 of them. You'll see the pre-drilled holes around the landing gear where these go. But to show you, let's get one in started. Don't get them all the way tight until you have all 3 sets in also. That way you have some room to wiggle. So what we're going to do is just get that screw started. We're not going to take it all the way down. I'm going to do this with all 3 of them right now, and then you'll see. We'll cinch them up. All right, now we're going to tighten them all the way. All right, now that we have this all screwed down, what I'm going to do, just from prior experiences, this little cover that's on these wheels is free. If you can see it, I can move it. Our buddy RC Informer told us about this. So what we're going to do is just take a little bit of foam glue, nothing crazy, and just rub it over that joint. I'll still be able to get these off if I ever break them. You're never going to see these, but all this is going to do is keep those from spinning around on the inside. You could use CA. I like this stuff because I can get it back off, is the only reason I'm using this stuff. When that dries up here in a minute, it'll be all up in there. No issues. I'm gonna grab me a little swab of cotton and just make sure that's all smeared down in all the little piece. And just, like I said, doesn't touch anything of the spinning parts, but that's gonna keep those things from rotating. You could have let them rotate, it wouldn't hurt anything. All right, so gear are attached, they're nice and strong. Let's put our topper back on. Remember, it's that one long screw if you put it in the same little jar with all your other screws. All right, now we're gonna put the nose wheel on. All right, our next step is we're gonna put our nose wheel on. It's very simple. You're just gonna unscrew this little side piece here. You can look down the collet and see it backing out. You wanna back it out far enough to where you can slide this in. And there's a flat spot right here, that you wanna line up with that screw. Like so. And then tighten it back up. Don't worry about getting your alignment just right now. That's gonna be after we turn the radio on. There it is. All right, our next step is gonna be sliding the horizontal tail on. Just take and slide it in from either side. Gentle with this, guys. You don't want to force it. If it doesn't slide in easy, look at what you're doing. Mine's going in real easy though. Wiggle it a little bit. Don't be too forceful with this. Line up our holes. There are 4 holes, 2 on both sides. Remember, the screws are all the same for the whole airplane. So now we're gonna go on and put our screws in. Or we're gonna drop them. Funny enough, these screws must be aluminum on this airplane because they're not magnetic. One of the first airplanes I've ever put together that I couldn't magnetize my screwdriver for it. Now, I'm not gonna seat that all the way. I wanna leave play to put my other screws in. It'll make your life easier if you don't cinch it all the way down. And I'm gonna put one in on the other corner this time. All right, now that they're all in there, we're gonna cinch them all down. Now, the book tells you to go on and put the elevator on. I'm gonna wait until we turn on the power the first time on the airplane to make sure it's centered. That way, if I need to adjust it, it's not already hooked up. So, on to the next thing. All right, so we have our elevator installed. Our next thing is these little vortex generator. I'm probably calling it the wrong thing. Don't get too mad at me. But these just slide in. There's some little nipples on here that are gonna bite into the foam as you push this through. Just like that, and now it's in there. You can add a little glue to this if you want for security. But per the assembly manual, it does not say you need to. Ta-da! Look, I have 3 hands, everybody. I did enlist the help of the Mrs. Boozer for this part, for showing how easy this could be. Normally I would set the wing here up, but I wanted y'all to be able to see what I'm doing. So, we're gonna unclip all our wires for the wing, unfurl them, and now it's as simple as reaching down in here and getting your extensions and matching them up. So, ESC, we find the one that says ESC on it, white to white, red to red, black to black, push until they snap, like that. LED, LED, flap to flap, and aileron. Now, before you put your wing all the way on, there is another one in here that says bind on it. Make sure you take your canopy off and run that one up to the front of the airplane. This way, if you have to bind later on, this one's up here. And I'm probably just going to take a little piece of Scotch tape and tape it down out of the way to where it's out here. That way, if you need to bind, you don't have to take the wing off. So now, it's as simple as spinning this around. We're going to take our plug for our battery connection, fish that through up to the front bay. Now, I'm going to arrange myself to where I can see down in there, and I want to make sure all my wires don't get pinched as I put this down. And I want to try and keep them away from all of the servos as much as possible. So I'm going to try and push these up to the front of the bay as I slide the wing in. Still hitting on something. Bear with me, this isn't the easiest thing to show on camera. Do I not have it dropped in all the way? Hey, hey. Hey, hey, Captain Blosh. There we go. And then you take this one black bolt from the top, screw that down. Ta-da! And the wing's on. All right, now that you have your wing installed, you need to slide these little pieces in. These are your braces, and they literally just slide in and snap. Same thing on the other side. Slide in and snap. So guys, this is an optional step, but one that I highly recommend if your receiver antenna is not taped down. I'm going to take mine up here. I'm going to go 90 degrees, so parallel, and I'm going to tape this antenna down. And now I have an antenna in front of the battery that's this way, and I have an antenna in the aft portion of the airplane that's going lengthwise. This gives me really good coverage, and I'm going to tape my wire to where it's out of the way of my battery. And a little Scotch tape. You won't hurt a thing in here. All we're trying to do is secure that wire to where it's not going to get caught up when we're taking the battery in and out or anything like that. It's on the inside of the plane. You don't have to worry about this being super pretty. But yeah, we just want to make sure that our battery doesn't interfere with our receiver antenna. So that's it. So we have the wing and the tail on now. I have not installed the props yet. We want to wait to do that till the very, very end. So we're going to take our bind port. We're going to plug a bind button in, or a bind plug I should say. We're going to get our radio set up. New model. We did change the wing type to 1 aileron, 1 flap, because this airplane does have flaps. Now we're going to plug right this in. We're going to go bind on our radio and we're going to hold it away a few feet. It's good. Now we're going to remove our bind plug and make sure everything works. Everything's working. So now we're going to flip the airplane over and we're going to put our elevator on while it's still plugged in. All right, so we have the airplane on right now. It's all initialized, and I can see that if I snap that in, the elevator's going to have a little bit of down in it. So what I need to do is screw my horn out a few turns and then pop it in and see how that looks. It's pretty close. Also, I can't remember what hole it goes in. Let me take a quick peek real quick at my instruction book. Don't forget, guys, at the end of the day, reference your book. Elevator is supposed to use the last hole. So, if I push that in now, just like that, I'm going to look down the end, and it's dead on. So now we can snap that on. Now, something I normally do, you do not have to, is I will go in and put fuel tubing around right here just to keep that from ever coming off. You don't have to, but it doesn't cost much to do that. Anyway, so we're going to flip the airplane back over, we're going to unplug it, and now we're going to put the props on. Last step, now that we have the airplane assembled, bound, we know everything works and is set up, is we're going to put the props on. So, very simple. Make sure you're putting your props on the right direction. So you want them spinning inwards like this, if that makes sense. So the top of the tips going in. So we're going to slide that on, put our prop nut on, take our little wrench, and tighten it. And these dowel props that come on this one, you're not going to break these very easy. In better news. They do look awesome though. Props on this airplane are crazy. And they are opposite threads to match, which is kind of oddball. That's why you have a red and a green side on the airplane. Then we just take our little cones and you take a screw. It comes with 2 screws in the same bag that all the props were in. And you gotta have a small screwdriver for this. Actually don't know if that screwdriver is small enough. Let's see if this one is. Nope. I need an even smaller one. You will need a small screwdriver to put these on. Holy cow, that one's still too big. Okay, there we go. Yahtzee! All right, so there it gets the Twin Otter all put together, guys. If you haven't already seen it, check out the flight footage up here in the corner. We have already got this airplane out. We've been enjoying it, but now we've got you the assembly. We do plan on doing the floats also. I will make a separate video for putting the floats on the airplane in the near future when we get out to float fly this airplane. The assembly was very straightforward, very simple, guys. There's really nothing hard about this one. That took roughly an hour to put it together. With us filming it, that takes a little bit more time, guys. So very impressed with it though. You get lights, I mean a nice small package, fly it in the park, easy going airplane. So without further ado, please think about becoming a Boozer Barracks member. Check out our merch store, and please like, share, subscribe, and get out there and fly with your friends.